Second Timothy states that all scripture is God breathed. Why? Because only Alpha and Omega knows the past, present, and the future. So over 1600 years written in Ge'ez, he let us know about the formation of Brics, which would include Libya. So let's watch. Notice it's Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya. And they will be here in the latter years. So after many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, in the mountains of Israel. Therefore in the mountains of Ethiopia. For Israel is one of God's many names, including Jacob. And Jacob's favorite dwelling place is in Zion. And Zion is just another name for Ethiopia. Haile Selassie himself was crowned the king of Zion. So let's see who Brics are. Brics is Russia, Saudi Arabia, Brazil, China, Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Iran, United Arab Emirates. Who also is going to join Brics? Libya Brics membership could boost economic prospects. Notice it was written over 1600 years ago that Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya are going to join together in the latter years, or in the final part of the years. So of course Libya is going to join. So even today people don't know, but it is going to happen. And if you don't know, then you better know this. Who controls the Vatican?
And put in the words Pope Paul III. And you'll find that his name was Alessandro Farnese. Would that be one of the richest elite black nobility Venetian families?
Don't forget, Iraq and Iran was founded by Ethiopians. Why? Because we are all from Ethiopia. It is written in Psalm 87 that we were all born in Zion. And the entire Middle East used to be called Ethiopia. From Egypt to India, both countries inclusive. India used to be called Eastern Ethiopia. That's why the largest river in India is named after an Ethiopian king named Ganges.
History, who came from Persia to Rome, the Farnese family, would that be the same family that together with the Borgia family created the Jesuits in 1539? And then...
Don't forget the two first Roman Catholic popes were black. That's why it's called the black nobility.
Copernicus posthumously, after he died, Copernicus, the supposed historical Copernicus, released the book on revolutions in 1542. So what was going on in that decade? Well, it's interesting. They convened Pope Paul, the Farnese, who is the great-grandfather of Fidel Castro. Castro is of the Farnese family. They own a lot of land. Trust me. A lot of the USA belongs to the Farnese family. These guys were the globalists, because already people had been going across the Atlantic. They knew the earth was, the sea was level. They knew that it was a stationary earth. So they had to make a container of all the known lands that they controlled. And so they got their Jesuit boy Copernicus to create a theory, which it still is. It's called the Copernican theory, and he said it's a hypothesis. It's not to be taken as absolute truth. It's only useful to describe certain phenomena. Thank you, Copernicus.
In other words, the world doesn't spin. That makes absolutely no sense. So let's watch who's in control now. So you notice he said Iran.
The United States alone has imposed 3 times as many sanctions on other countries of the world in the past 2 years than the entire stretch of the last decade. The flip side of the coin of Western unilateralism has been the outbreak of various wars, the most oppressive and excruciating of which are currently unfolding in the occupied Palestine and Lebanon. The formation continues new ones, an expansion of Brics over the past 15 years, have proffered the countries and the global community an opportunity to not tether their destinies to the sole dictates of Western powers. And to
You see how they're trying to trick you? When in fact they're both controlled by the Roman calendar. So they're both the same, and they're both part of the eagle and the dragon.
Iran has emerged as a key player in promoting and potentially expanding the Brics payment system. Nasser Cannon.
Notice it said chief player, because if you think about it, Iran goes back thousands of years, while Russia itself is only a couple of 100 years old.
Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson has proposed linking the payment systems of all Brics countries to create a more robust and interconnected financial network. Iran's contributions include expertise in sanctions evasion and alternative financial channels, successful integration of Russian and Iranian payment systems, and a vision for a unified Brics financial network. To understand the significance of this new Brics initiative, it's crucial to recognize the current dominance of SWIFT and the US dollar in global finance.
Who controls the money controls the world. So as it says in prophecy, the final Persia is going to be the final one. How do we know? Because it's written in the Ethiopian original tongues, which was omitted out of the King James Version. But in it, you would find this. Assur came out of the mountains from the north. He came with 10,000s of his army, and multitude whereof stopped the torrents, and their horsemen have covered the hills. He bragged that he would burn up borders and kill young men with the sword, and dash the sucking children against the ground, and make thy infants as a prey and my virgins as a spoil. Our mighty Lord have disappointed them by the hand of a woman. Who? By the hands of Judith. So let's see what they're going to do. He that feareth the Lord is great at all times. Now as soon as they entered into Jerusalem, they worshiped the Lord. So what's going to happen? 2 great dragons came forth ready to fight, and their cry was great, and all their cry, all nations were prepared to battle, that they might fight against the righteous people. And the whole righteous nation were in trouble. Then they cried unto God. So as we could see, Brics is basically trying to take over the world, because if they control the money, they control the world.
SWIFT connects over 11,000 institutions across 195 countries, handling approximately 42 million messages daily and facilitating trillions of dollars in international transactions.
Hello. So let's see what is written in the Bible at the end. The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. He protects all his bones. Not one of them will be broken. Evil will slay the wicked. The foes of the righteous will be condemned. Basically, at the end of time, it will basically be the evil fighting against the wicked. Follow God, not man. Jagai.
Until there come another king.